Alright, I am going to be showing you how to make a very quick rice cooker vegetable soup. It will take less than 15 minutes from prep to finish. Obviously, rice cooker is in first. We're not going to be putting our water in first. We will, in fact, be first cutting a chunk of butter and adding that into the rice cooker before anything else. We're going to use approximately 1 tablespoon of butter for this. So we're just going to slice that quickly and drop it in. If you are vegan, I'm sorry, this is not a vegan soup. I do not normally do vegan dishes for medical reasons. But yeah, we'll start with that. Then we are going to chop our onions in because they are the next quickest item. We will be using the entire thing of spring onions. And first thing you want to do with any vegetables or any onions is remove the roots, get them out of your way. You will not be needing them. And then you are also going to take the other very end of it and just cut it off. Also remove it. This leaves every part of it as a part that you can cook with. And then be careful, keep your hands out from under the blade at all times. In fact, if you can do it, if you have a nice enough knife that it will cooperate with you, put your hands over it and make sure the blade is in front of your thumb when you put it down. Have your thumb slightly up on the dull flat part. And don't mind the screaming of my neighbor's kids, they're just throwing tantrums. But we're next going to throw in our onions on top. The rice cooker is already starting to warm up a little and melt the butter, albeit very slowly. But that'll speed up once there's more heat on there. Next, we're going to take 2 pieces of our bok choy, maybe 3. Let's see how 2 looks. And this is just a serving for 1 person. So we're just going to very quickly cut that up, take off the end again. This is also a good way to use up leftover vegetables so they don't go bad. Or if you want to have a lot of different vegetables but don't want to use them all up at once, it's a good way to do it. So we're just going to drop those in right on top. We're not going to stir anything in at all right now. Now we are going to be using the bottom quarter of our green pepper. The rest of this will be going back in the fridge. We shouldn't need any more than this. And we're just going to slice down across it very quickly. And be careful because knife blades do tend to slide on green pepper. And then we turn it complete halfway around, and then we slice through our other slices. That is done. Drop it in. Next, we are going to be getting our summer squash. If you use a larger slow cooker, you can do the same thing. You can put this in the night before you go to work or the night before you go to bed. You can chop everything up in advance, throw it in before you go to work in the morning with enough water. And when you come home from work, it will all be cooked. Next, we will be dropping in our squash. We're going to add a little bit more of that in there just because I want more than just green and tomato in my soup. We're just going to cut down, cut down, cut down one more time. Turn it. 1, 2, 3. Flip it. Let it slide a little bit down. Only one, and straight across. And all of our tomato, or all of our squash has now been cut that we want in here. And again, at the moment, we are not doing any stirring. Next will be our tomato. This will be the last thing going in before the water and cooking spices, which you can do your spices as elaborate or as plain as you like. You don't even have to add them if you don't want to, but I am choosing to add spices to this for myself. You just drop in that half of tomato. Next, we'll do our second one. And I'm not worried about making these tomato chunks too small, just because they are going to cook down a bit and I want to be able to take a bite out of them. Alright, so that now is filled. The spices we will be using at this point are chicken bouillon, just because I want it to have a little bit of a chicken flavor, but I don't have any chicken to add in, so we're just going to liberally pour quite a bit of that over. Not too much, not too little, just enough where it has a little bit of a sandy look in different spots, but you can still see the red of the tomato and a bit of the other vegetables. We're going to be using a little bit of seasoning salt, minus sea salt, seasoning salt. It's only because the store I was at did not have the regular kind. We're just going to liberally do that over. And next, this is optional. I do recommend seasoning salt whenever you're doing this in some type of bouillon. For me, I'm using an Cajun spice. If you'll notice, it's a bit worn out and pulled, but there was a closeout tag on it. If you are just moving out, or if you don't have a lot of money to build up your spices, I do recommend looking at the closeout and clearance section at your local grocery store. All right. Next, we will be adding water. Normally I would measure it, but I'm not going to measure this for you because I'm keeping this under 15 minutes. Instead, we're just going to take enough water to cover and start having our tomatoes float. And now that everything we want, oh, sorry, my mistake, I was going to also add a little bit of lime juice. I do recommend, if you don't have an allergy to citrus, I know some people do, even though it is kind of rare, when you make soups or whatever, spray in a little bit of lime or a little bit of lemon juice, especially if you don't have a lot of money for your groceries. Adding citrus does help prevent scurvy, which is extremely important, especially if you are low income. Now we're just going to take our rice cooker paddle and we're going to just do little turns on this just to mix our vegetables in. And then flip it up a little bit. Just make sure that they're all mixed together. You don't want to have them on one end at a time. And then go like this. That chicken bouillon is going to completely dissolve in. Last part that we will be doing is putting our rice cooker lid on, and we are just going to turn that to the cook mode and let it cook. That is it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we are at 9 minutes and 45 seconds. So mission of getting everything prepped and cooking in under 15 minutes is success. After that, all you have to do is wait, do your cleanup, and do any other things, chores or study, play around, video games, hang out with people, I don't know, whatever else you're going to do while it's cooking.